Here we go. Here we are, live from Sinkhole City, Melrose, Massachusetts, right? There was actually a sinkhole yesterday. Talk of the town.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still in like the community Facebook groups. And yeah, like basically right by where my parents used to live, where I grew up.
Were people getting pretty worked up about it?
I don't think anyone got hurt, I don't think. But like the street just kind of like cracked and half submerged.
I mean, it's on par for the year, but like you don't hear about too many sinkholes in Boston.
I don't. It was I think a freak of nature. It's all these fucking old roads. They probably just over time,
True,
anyone's
but a
immune.
sinkhole, there's something going on down deep, right?
Yeah, it wasn't like one of those ones you see where it's like a full 10, 15 feet. It was kind of just more the street got all fucked up.
We're talking about a child's sinkhole. Okay.
Yeah, but it spanned a couple of blocks.
Yeah, I have not spent too much time in Melrose, actually.
Oh.
I'm from Andover.
You're from Andover, right?
Yep,
okay.
Andover guy. But
Not too far.
Not too far. I mean, my first...
But then again, I've only been there like twice, I think, in my life. So.
Well, what do you think about Andover?
I went there once for a road race that was on a golf course when I was like 14, and then another different time. This might have actually been North Andover, to clarify.
Okay, well,
there's a whatchamacallit, hibachi place that is
yes, Tokyo.
Okay, that must have been it. Yeah. They insisted, and I was with my friend. They were like, "We gotta go to this place in Andover." I was like, "For dinner? Are you sure?" And then they were like, "We gotta go," and it was actually really good. So I was like, "Okay."
So you did have to go then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
We're here today with my neighbor Bryan, and we're gonna having a long. I just got my second shot, so I might like grow horns or pass out at any point.
I'll keep eyes on you.
Yeah,
I'm only
trying
my
to
first
keep it safe
myself.
here.
But yes, greetings everybody.
How close are you to? The?
I got Moderna, so I still have another 3 weeks.
Okay, I got Pfizer, but same thing.
So how long was that wait though?
I think also 3 weeks.
Okay.
I mean, I think
mine was a month. I got mine a week ago. I think Moderna might be a little longer.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, because I got mine on like April 9th or something. Today's the 28th. So
dude, my first one knocked me out. Like,
really?
I was done. Yeah.
I felt shitty, but I'm pretty sure I like drank the night I had the first one, so it's really hard to tell
It's
why.
kind of a good move, man. You don't get to focus too much on it.
Yeah, I find that whenever I'm sick, like a nice dose of edibles is pretty good, because then you can just be like, I'm sick and it sucks, and so let me just kind of like dissociate for a little while and watch
not
TV.
going to be moving anyways.
Yeah.
So may as well numb it up.
A year ago, I actually was pretty convinced that I had COVID. It was in February, so like there was no way of knowing at the time.
They didn't test for it, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like really out for a couple of days, and I went to the doctor, and they just said, they tested me for the flu, and it was negative. So it's like, I don't know.
It was like, we have no idea what's wrong with you.
Even if I did it, it's been over a year, so I doubt I'd even be immune, because, mutations and shit.
Well, a lot of people were saying that, though. Like, a lot of people felt like they had COVID before it became a big deal, which is super interesting.
I feel like a lot of that might have been wishful thinking. Because there's like colds you can get in like December and January.
Or people just want to be relevant to the conversation.
That's also part of it.
Yeah.
And then they like list symptoms that aren't even the symptoms,
True. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I had hives.
Most general blanket terms. I was sweating a good amount.
Yeah, I mean, that's also anything.
Exactly.
The problem with COVID is that other than the very specific dry cough and no smell, basically all the symptoms are just what you get, no matter what.
The no smell, no taste is definitely a new one for sure.
Yeah. I had a friend who said he couldn't smell for like 8 days. He tested positive.
My sister still sent me Snapchats of her just eating sriracha straight to see if her taste is back, and it's still not back.
Have you ever tried, this is called, I just got it a few weeks ago, it's called Mad Dog 357. It's a scorpion pepper sauce. It's pretty freaking strong.
I haven't. Is it good strong or is it a little too much?
It is a little bit too much. Although I've been, I got it as like, maybe if I made a sauce or a soup, I could throw a dab in there and get it to balance.
Just get a little bit of flavor texture in there.
Yeah, but then with this whole sinus situation, because his allergies have been pretty bad this year, or maybe I just forgot how bad they were, and they're the same.
Mine have been kind of chilling.
Yeah, mine haven't been that great. But as soon as I go out, like onto our front porch, that big tree, I immediately get hit in the face.
Cherry blossom.
It's bukkake from nature.
I know. I live for it. It's the only bukkake I'll do.
Yeah, well, the money's a little tight, so I'll leave that open to any of our listeners.
If you want to fund this bukkake, just send it in.
Just you have to get a COVID test before is the only, or if you're vaccinated, I guess you're fine.
You make it a rapid though; it doesn't have to be like super accurate.
I'll just like be eating something like a sub or whatever for lunch, and I'll just throw like on like towards the end, I'll just throw a little drop on, take a bite, and just let myself get like real hot, and
just to feel something.
You just feel it all open a little bit.
Look, people want to feel stuff these days. Like I did a juice cleanse during the pandemic just to feel something different.
I did 2 months of sobriety, although I think one of the months I was still doing weeds, but one was like full everything, and one was no alcohol.
I couldn't bring myself to do it.
I
wanted to, couldn't bring myself to do it.
I've done sober October for the past It's 3 years in a row now.
It's a good month to do it.
It is a good month to do it. I always start on like the 30th though, because then it's like you don't have to Halloween.
You thought on the 30th of October?
30th of September, so that way you get like a day free, and then you can do Halloween still.
Nice.
The first time I did it was actually pretty psychotic because I didn't drink or do any drugs for a month, and then I went to Las Vegas for 6 days to see Fish on a 4-night run. So the transition was stark.
You must have climbed a lot of mountains really fast.
Oh yeah, I almost got into trouble. Like some guy dosed me at the concert, and well, he didn't like.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he didn't like prick me with a needle.
How much was it against your will?
He provided me with a dose, and it was 1 tab, and I thought that I've done like 1 tab before, and I guess he just had really good stuff that all was contained in 1 tab, and I was then the concert itself was like could have been 6 seconds, could have been 6 million years. Walk out and then you leave and you're in the casino, and then when you try to leave the casino, you're on the Las Vegas Strip. So it's like it just doesn't stop. It's a pretty interesting place to.
Were you by yourself?
I mean, I was, as a result of the circumstances, by myself. My phone died, and I got separated from the people I was with for about 5 seconds. My hotel room and all that was like by myself.
Yeah,
but I was like with people that I like met through the.
But still, nothing worse than when you're tripping super hard in a public place that you don't know that well and you're alone. That sounds tough.
I don't mind it that much. I mean, obviously there's a lot of fear, and then sometimes you just get hit with like, I'm alone, and then you get hit with like this wave of loneliness that's like, I'm alone.
Anything could happen to me.
Yeah. I meant more like existentially, like, will I be alone forever?
That's always there. That's always there for me.
But yeah, then I kind of just wandered off the Strip because I didn't know where I was going, and then about 5 seconds into that, I was like, oh, well, this isn't right. I was like, this is why every single time I've ever heard the Las Vegas Strip reference in my entire life, they said not to wander off it. So I turned around and I sprinted right back into the Encore.
Nice. Okay. So it actually sounded like it worked out then. Good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a funny... so I was very overwhelmed. My phone was dead, and I wanted to get back to my hotel, which was in Old Vegas, so I needed a cab. So I found some bellhop who could definitely just tell I was fucked up. I was wearing this stupid tie-dye shirt with a skateboarding brain on it, too.
Nice.
And, like, pink pants.
Let him know.
It was very hard to avoid attention from escorts who were, like, working the bar and stuff. Because my original thought was, I'm just going to go sit at the bar, and I'm going to order a beer, and I'm going to relax. But the problem is, at that hour, every open seat at a bar is, like, there's kind of just, like, an escort like this.
Yeah, and you're just like, I don't think I can do that energy right now.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk to anyone, let alone as someone who's trying to proposition me for sex. So I found this bellhop, and I say to him, could you help me find a cab? And he goes, cab? What kind? What color? And I was just like, oh, shit, I don't know. And then he was just like, I'm fucking with you, man. And he just throws me in a cab and sends me on my merry way.
It's like, yo, man, I had not thought about that. I have to come back. I'll do a loop and come back, tell you what color I want.
In that moment, it was like, I felt like I met the only guy in Vegas who wasn't trying to grift me for something. The only honest man in the whole town.
Gift from the universe. Universe saw you struggling. They're like, we got to set these two up.
So we're opening up. In my opinion, like, I don't want to say too fast, but it's gone from like I have nothing on my calendar to all of a sudden it's like, shit.
Yeah, I mean, I found myself super in. Like, I have a pretty big summer, but the last 2 to 3 weekends have like felt like it's already opened up, and I found myself doing stuff, and I'm just like, all right, wait, I was like looking to ease into this, and I apparently am already fully in this. Like, I've been partying every weekend.
Yeah, I like
parties with like people like without masks and stuff. It's a little sketch, but I was like, whoa, I guess this is happening.
I don't know if there was ever really a time where people were having parties with masks on. I feel like that was more of an in for an inch, in for a mile situation.
True. I'm saying they're having, yeah, you're right. They're not going to come back and have mask parties.
Yeah, no, for sure.
No one's doing that.
I had, my girlfriend threw me a surprise birthday party, and I had one friend who was there wearing a mask, and everyone was just like, okay, I guess we'll like stand away from you.
Are you having fun,
You're throwing off the vibe here, though. Yeah, people get paranoid.
How was the birthday party?
Oh, it was good. She had very, very subtly asked me, like, if I were ever to throw you a party, who should I invite? It was like months ago, and I kind of forgot. And then she really got me.
She sniped you.
Yeah, it was that classic surprise party thing where you actually get really annoyed with everyone. You're like, it's my birthday, and everyone's acting really incompetent today.
Yes.
Like, why are they acting all so stupid?
Yep.
Like, this is very frustrating, and then, it's like a huge catharsis. And then you feel stupid. You're like, I can't believe
you're
I
like
didn't
embarrassed.
This.
Like, I can't believe I had these feelings of like negligence against my friends.
Yeah. And then we did the same thing for my sister this past weekend. And she was actually like, I was annoyed. She was like actually really pissed off before she found out I was surprised. Because we made her go to Tavern at the End of the World. We said we were going to meet up for drinks there.
Sure.
and they were closed for some sort of violation, I assume COVID related, and there was a sign on the door, which I saw earlier that week, so I knew we could do it. There's a sign on the door that said, waiting to hear back from ABCC, which I think must be like the
That's
alcohol.
great publicity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they'll be open.
I mean, I've been there a few times.
It is
They
actually
were
great
definitely
publicity.
breaking.
You know that they...
What?
yeah, it's good publicity. You know that they, if you want to party, go to there.
Yeah, they're not following any rules. I went there a few times, and there were just people without masks, just like
Yeah.
going very hard there.
I haven't been there in a while. I think the last time I went, they were strict, but I went like more during the
They
lunch
serve
hour.
their drinks hard, and they like don't mind you doing
Oh, yeah.
drugs in their facilities. So
I have done drugs in the facility, that's for sure.
There you go. They're all about that life.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually the last place I went before everything shut down, the initial time. It was
Oh,
there
really?
The very, very last night. So anyways, we get there, and there's a sign on the door, which honestly kind of looks like we could have hung it out, but clearly the place is closed. It's a Saturday night, 8 p.m., no one's
Yep.
inside, door's locked, and she's pissed. And she actually thought, I guess, because one of her friends accidentally almost spoiled it and said that we were going to have other people meet her at the restaurant. So she thought that was a surprise. And I was like, oh, shit, this place is closed. So she was wearing heels, and she had to walk up a hill to go back to the apartment. And she
set her
was
very
so
low
mad.
before the lift up.
Yeah, and then we got to the apartment, and a bunch of her friends were there. And I went for some deep cuts, so I think she was impressed.
Love
But,
that.
yeah.
Love that. No, and that's the thing. I think people are just looking any excuse to party these days. People are gonna blow it up now.
Yeah.
Like the smallest. I mean, that was a birthday party though. But still, like, let's just throw a surprise party. We just had a surprise party. Let's throw another one.
Yeah, we stayed up until sunlight, so it was definitely a blown up surprise party.
It's gonna be a lot of that. Yeah, I mean, I think people are ready. Like, I was out in Southie last week, and I hate Southie. And,
Yeah, I hate it too.
Hate it. And
House party ain't bad. I can't stand you got to get to Lincoln at 7:45 or else you're not going to get inside.
Yeah, nope.
I can't fuck with that
no,
shit.
the house parties are pretty fun though. But like, dude, people just everywhere, and just like not holding back at all. Like, people have been pent up for a year now, and just having years worth of party energy that they want to release.
Yeah. We did. I mean, I probably did more stuff in this summer and fall than I actually ever did, but I also had a girlfriend, so I think that affected things.
Pushes things along.
Yeah, it was like my friends are so. I went to college in Texas, so I'm not like I don't have that like core group of college friends. So
Sure.
like all my friends are around here from like childhood and stuff.
Yep.
So like we can get a couple of things together in the course of the summer, but it's more disparate. Where then with her it was more like, all right, I guess we'll go to New Hampshire this weekend. It's like, I guess we could just go to New Hampshire 2 weeks from now too. Why not? It's green. Let's climb a mountain.
Yeah.
She's not a huge fan of that part though.
Well, at least you make the effort though. It's thought.
Yeah.
It's thought like we were near a mountain.
Yeah, no, I've dragged her up a few. It's always a little ugly on the way up, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm glad you made me did it." Once we see, you're seeing the expanse.
Yeah,
of
and then the way
universe.
down's a cinch.
Depends. I only ever take her on the ones that are like not steep enough for the way down to be an issue. But
Okay.
I've definitely done the hikes where like the way up was horrible, but then on the way down it's like better not fall.
So you're setting her up for like
Yeah.
what she thinks is going to be a sweet relief, and it's actually I heard the way down's actually a lot harder.
Yeah, well, there's good ones where it's like, I think if a hike is about like 45 degrees angle or something like that, then it's like, it's not that bad on the way down, but it can still be pretty horrible on the way up, depending on the length. But
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Vermont for a long time. I've got my hiking out of my system. I'm not a hiker anymore. I'm done with it. Done with it.
Oh, okay.
I like to do it here and there, but like, yeah, dude, that effort on the way up is just like I'm gonna die every time.
yeah, well, I mean, I've run a marathon before, and
Yeah,
I was
you're
actually,
a big runner, so your lungs
Yeah.
are ready for it. I'm a jeweler, heavy weed smoker. My lungs are they've done it. It's like, I've seen it.
I used to be a pretty big Juul guy, chain smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to not chain smoke with the porch situation that we got there. Gonna miss the triple decker when it's gone, but the triple decker porch setup.
I know. For real.
But when I did sober October this year, I just stopped smoking, and then halfway through, I was running about halfway through the month, and I had some real bad shortness of breath.
Sure.
And it's been an ongoing thing. I don't know what it is, but since then I haven't actually smoked anything. No
that's
weed, no
amazing.
Juul, nothing. But
That's amazing.
it's better. But
That's what you want.
yeah,
I was 2 weeks quit before the pandemic, and as soon as I heard,
No, yeah, that's it.
I was like, I'm not doing this without my Juul. That's insane.
I met a lot of people who were like, I used to do sober October, but I can't do it during the pandemic. And I was just like, if I don't, I might die. It's how I reset
exactly
every time.
Yeah, I mean,
You'll
I get it.
reset.
I like to do a cleanse here and there, but I don't know if there'll be a cleanse for a
A
little
real
bit.
juice cleanse. Maybe I should try that.
Juice cleanse is wild.
I had one of those fancy shots earlier today because I was in Back Bay, and there's a little place. I don't know if you ever got a Back Bay station, but there's a little place that's like a juice bar, and they have like the shots, but they sell them at a lot of like upscale coffee shops and stuff. It's like the apple cider vinegar and cayenne and turmeric.
Yes,
and they just kind of put it, and you do it. And I don't know if it helps, but it feels like you're drinking medicine.
No, you definitely evolved from that shot. No question.
Yeah.
Turmeric?
Involved. I imagine it. Whatever negative side effects of the vaccine could possibly happen.
It just cancels it out.
Yeah, I actually already contracted autism in 2004 from drinking Pepsi Blue, and then again in 2015 from playing Dark Souls. So I'm not too worried about that.
So you got double autism?
Yeah, I've contracted it numerous times. That's why I do comedy.
Do they have a fix for it? So like after the first time, did you get cured and then get it again? Or did you just double up your first dose?
Yeah, I think you just like you get socialized.
You just kind of keep going further down the spectrum, basically.
Yeah, and then that's why they call it a spectrum. Just various Then I'm sharing memes that like no one understands except for 7 people.
That's the best kind of autism, though. That's autism that you want.
Yeah. There's actually it was funny. I was talking to because growing up and stuff, and like my sister was like, I think mom had bad prenatal care and we're both on the spectrum. She said that to me very unironically before. She's got the health anxiety stuff, but she works in the pharmaceuticals. She's all big corporate, blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
So I suspected that about myself, and I was actually doing comedy and meeting like high functioning or medium functioning autistic people like through the scene. I've been like, I don't think it's, and I've met other people who said the exact same thing. They're like, yeah, when I was a kid, like my mom took me to some doctor and then they said I was autistic, but I think I just more was like attention deficit and depressed or whatever.
Well, see, that was me too, though, but. I was in psychology for a long time. I was a behavioral interventionist for a while, and they actually switched it so that everything's just on the autism scale now. So if you have ADD, you're on the autism scale.
Oh, okay. So I guess I am.
Yeah. So we all are.
I definitely have it really bad. Working from home, not a great thing for me.
No.
You take Adderall?
I take Vyvanse and Dexedrine.
Okay. I used to take Vyvanse, and then I went back to Adderall. I was like Addy and Vyvanse.
Vyvanse is like insane. Like I've been taking 50 mils since I was a junior in high school, and every single time, like I'm rolling face on the come up, like in middle of class.
It does feel like that.
Rolling face, just like is people looking at me because like I'm not good right now.
Yeah, that's actually why I stopped taking it is because it curbs my appetite so much that I need something I can take like after lunch. So I just take the IR Adderalls because if I take a Vyvanse after lunch, I might be like feeling crazy.
Oh, you won't be good. I have to wake up at like 6 a.m. for an alarm, take my Vyvanse, and then go back to sleep, and then I'll wake up.
Maybe I should try that. It's kind of like the idea of a coffee nap. You ever like you need to take a nap, but you want to wake up alert, so you just drink a coffee and then pass out?
Yeah, same exact thing. If I was going to say anything though, Dexedrine, best stuff I've ever done.
Is that an over-the-counter medicine?
No, that's like you have to get federally. Approved.
I meant to ask under the counter.
Yeah, under the counter. But it's basically Vyvanse without the long-acting drug in it, so you just like don't feel like shit on the come down. You can just take a little 10 milligrams, and you're just like you are soaring.
I find that if you make sure that you get like electrolytes and maybe some vitamins, the bad effects of Adderall aren't as bad.
The Vyvanse come down as like some of the darkest stuff ever for me.
Yeah, I felt that's why I stopped. It was because I was unemployed for so long, and then I was employed, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not getting anything done, and I can't get fired within the first 3 weeks because that would be embarrassing.
You can't be on Vyvanse looking for a job because it's like you need to be doing something at all times. So like you're looking for a job on Vyvanse, like all right, I'm gonna do it for a couple hours, and then like what are you gonna do for the next 10 hours?
Yeah, so then I found an old Vyvanse that I just had, and I took it on like a Friday when I was feeling particularly unproductive. And then I ended up like still being tweaking at like 9 p.m. And I like drank a bunch of beers, and then I ended up like I remember I think I called my girlfriend crying at like 4 a.m. And then I missed like a family outing we were supposed to do the next day because I just slept through 3. I was like, I'm up late, but I'm going to be smart. I'm going to set 3 different alarms. So 1 on the Google Home and then 2 on my phone. And I just slept through all of them.
Dude, that's
like 5 hours.
That's Vyvanse.
And I was like, all right, I think I should just go and get the Adderall.
You almost don't know what you're going to get at the end of your Vyvanse trip sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you'll be crying at 4 a.m. I would smoke like 13 spliffs in a row alone just to try and balance out. That wouldn't even put me down.
But I do with the Addies sometimes just take like a small dose of edibles just to be like, because I can't drink alcohol every day, although I still do most of the time. But, it's like, just,
It's a little more gradual.
Tune it off with the...
Yeah, well, if you're comparing it to Vyvanse, I mean, nothing can be more intense than that.
So I think I saw you with a suitcase the other day. Were you doing some traveling?
I'm just dipping like all the time. Like now that everything's opening up, like I am just trying to get out and go. So I'll go up to Vermont, see my boys. I'll go down to my Cape house or my parents' Cape house.
Where do your parents have a house?
East Dennis.
Oh, okay. Mine have a house in Eastham.
Oh, nice. Love that. Yeah, Cape's the best.
Oh yeah, especially once you get all the way out. But I mean, Dennis is still pretty far up.
It's like like right in the middle of the elbow.
I used to go and do shows in Dennis, and I would stay.
Whereabouts?
The Red Nun.
Yeah, I know the Red Nun.
Yeah, they used to do Thursday. And they'll probably bring it back once it's open for shit.
Red Nun's the best. And then also, I think when you saw me, I was coming back. Me and my friends will do this like underground rave thing up in Maine. We'll rent this mansion and invite 25 people that all have like their vaccines or their tests, and then we'll just throw like an absolute ripper for like 4 days straight.
That's legit. We were actually, the last time I was driving back from Conway, we saw what looked like a just like big abandoned like farm or barn shed, and I was like, how cool would it be if we just rented that and had like a huge party?
That's basically
and it's like, it wouldn't be that conspicuous because it's on Route 16. Maybe you'd have to go into one of the side streets. But.
Yeah, see, this place is a little tucked away, so like, and I have my friends that are like all big DJs, so they have like PK sound system. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like the nicest speakers you can have, and it'll shake the whole house, like literally shake the whole house till like 8 a.m. So
I never got too much into like rave stuff. I'm a big Fish fan, so there's there's kind of a connection between some of the cultural aspects.
I bet you could get
I went to Bonnaroo, and I definitely, when I was there, I checked out some of the, like, I didn't understand how hard people did roll on Molly.
Oh yeah,
and the ways that they take it. Like I was getting. One girl was just like, put on this chapstick, and I was like, and they put on the chapstick and then go like that with your lips so you can get it.
I've never seen that.
I'm not sure. It seemed like it worked a little bit, but it definitely like.
No, you want that?
I've rolled.
You want that in your stomach for sure.
Yeah, and then people just put it in water and they just drink it, and they're like, I'm staying hydrated and doing Molly.
Yeah, Molly has its spot. I mean, then you got pressed ecstasy too. You get the liquid stuff. So many different ways to take it.
Yeah, we did ecstasy, I think, on New Year's Eve. No, it was on our anniversary in November. We rented the Comfort Inn Woburn in-room hot tub suite.
Love that. Okay.
Great move. It's like 120 for the night, and there's just next, a few feet over from the bed, there's just a big, king-size hot tub in the suite.
So how did that go?
We had fun, but then, like, I think because we were like sitting in hot water and drinking champagne and not being that mindful.
Super dehydrated.
Yeah, and we felt pretty fucked out for a few days.
I bet.
So we like shrooms. Shrooms are good.
Shrooms are the best.
With shrooms, it's just like, you could even, as long as you don't stay up that late, you could do shrooms like on a weeknight.
Dude, I make shroom tea. Shroom tea's been my new thing.
I like the tea. I've tried it. We have never tried the tea, me and my girlfriend, because she's so small that like she's worried that if we make the tea, she won't necessarily know how much she's taken. So she likes to look at it.
It's still the same. It's like a little bit less intense of anything, but like there's no nausea and the come up's a lot faster and smoother.
Yeah. The fast come up actually has fucked with me in the past, just because the nausea is less, but then the fast come up will sometimes give me like vertigo. Like all of a sudden that wall is like 10 feet farther away, and I'm just like,
I don't know. I think you should give it another go.
I'll totally do it again.
I'll do it sometimes when I'm having a really stressful work day. I'll just do like a little microdose and pour a little tea and just drink it and watch something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't ever. I've tried a microdose before, and every time I do, I just end up taking too much, and then it doesn't really.
Well, and see, that's where it comes down to the intention then, because like I agree, I get it. Once you start taking some mushrooms, you're like, all right, dude, I want to take some to see some shit. Yeah. But if you just take enough, where it's like I'm okay with just being like a little bit happy and like a little dancey, that's where you want to be.
Yeah, I had that a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago now. It was probably when I first got back on the Addies, and I couldn't focus on shit in my work day. And I was like worried that, because I just started taking them, and it was like I would just look at my phone too much instead of actually doing work and all this. So I decided to do a phone detox. So I just turned my phone off at like 8:45 at night and took a pretty small dose of shrooms, probably more than I thought it was. And then I just like a couple hours just around the night, just kind of like slowly walked around. My girlfriend had like plans with her friends that weekend, so it was just me. I like stared at the ceiling and shit. And that was actually the night that you had texted me at one point asking if I knew a blow guy who delivered. And I was like, and I turned my phone on the next day. I was like, I have no idea when you sent this, but yeah, I was totally awake. If only I'd gotten it. But yeah, I was doing a detox, no tech.
Doing a detox, just doing shrooms tonight. Sorry, dude.
That's like the Google Home helps a lot with that shit too, because it's like, I can just yell at it. I don't have to interact with the screen, and it will play music.
Right.
So technically not a tech detox, but a screen detox.
I think that's enough, though.
Yeah, the screens are bad. They mess with like they put light in your brain that's not supposed to be there. It's shitty stuff, man.
It just breaks your brain down. It's not good.
Yeah, it's. And now we spent like centuries and centuries making this technology, and now we have to make new technology to minimize the harmful effects of it.
And it's wild. And our generation is like one of the last ones that got to see the best of both worlds, which is like super valuable in my opinion.
Yeah, it is interesting because we, we grew up in a time where I don't know. I feel like it is a little. It probably is if you looked at the stats. It's reduced, but I think the idea that you hear a lot of older people say is that like kids aren't going and playing in the yards anymore. I feel like they still are.
They are, but like it's definitely different. Like I was outside all the time growing up.
Oh yeah, totally. And we didn't.
And then we got eased into the technology. Like technology, where we are now, like we're the only ones that it probably made sense to because we saw the actual every step and we saw it before time.
Right, because we saw. I mean, we are used to the idea of a phone not having a screen on it.
Exactly.
And it taking
we saw
several minutes just to connect to the internet.
Yeah, or like sending a text from your pocket, or
yeah. I remember the T9 word. The evolution of when everything had a keyboard on it was like, oh man, they made small keys. Can't believe they didn't think of that earlier. But yeah, when I was a kid, it was like it's probably similar to you. My friend who lived in the neighborhood would usually just come and knock on my door.
Yeah.
And I don't even think you're allowed to knock on people's doors anymore.
No, definitely not. And if so, they're not going to answer.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a weird, people always, I'll invite someone over sometimes to our place, and they'll be like, "I don't think your buzzer works." I was like, I don't think we have a buzzer.
It definitely rings our apartment. And
oh, really?
Whenever our door rings, like I don't budge. I'm just like, I don't.
Oh, really?
I was expecting it.
Okay, so just mine is broke. I just figured it was there, for the cops.
That's good to know. Next time the door rings, I'm gonna issue you a text. Yo, door's ringing.
Oh, that's also. I mean, I think it's supposed to be, say 3. I tell people 3. I don't know.
I mean, it's no way now. That apartment's.
I bet.
Oh, no.
Most people don't attempt to ring my doorbell. It's not that common of a.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
Well, if you're coming over, like if I know you're coming over, you'll just text me, shoot me a text that you're here. I'll come down.
Maybe the crazy, the door that always locks is a bit of an issue sometimes, but I'm
back and forth on it. Like, I don't love it, but like at the same time, I kind of like it.
I like not having to really worry about locking the doors
to
the apartment.
Exactly. When I'm coming home blackout and I don't have to think about locking the door behind me.
Yeah.
Best feeling.
I used to live in Dorchester, and I used to black out way more frequently than I did. So this is probably like around the ages of like 23,
Dorchester
24.
Culture?
No, I think I just I'd just joined the workforce, and I was still trying to figure stuff out, and I just wasn't that happy, so I just drank it a lot more.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I didn't have much of a sense of purpose. It was before I started doing comedy and shit.
Okay.
But I totally, and I was in a pretty toxic the guy who owned my apartment lived there.
Sure.
So I had to be like landlord roommate, but we weren't like friends or anything. It was still a Craigslist thing.
Sure.
And it was like twice within 1 month. And it was the only 2 times I did this, but they happened to be twice within 1 month. It was bad. I just came out blackout and didn't close the door all the way. And he was so pissed.
He was like beside himself?
Yeah, he kind of insinuated that the first time it happened, he was really pissed. And then the second time it happened, he just insinuated that I should.
You think he was doing it on purpose?
He didn't evict. No, I definitely didn't do it on purpose.
Oh,
He was
okay.
he's like, I can't have this shitheadedness in my, and
It's 2 times, buddy. Come on. Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, he was a teeny bit older. Not even really. I mean, he was probably 27. I was 23. I mean, that's how old I am now. So.
Jeez, dude, you're 27. Loosen up.
Yeah, well, it was a thing where his parents basically took care of everything to get him the apartment.
Okay.
And his dad was like,
blow it.
don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've all been there.
But then I found out a year later that his apartment actually did get broken into. And I was like, oh, thank God that happened when I wasn't living there. I would have been in so much trouble. Even if it wasn't my fault, I would have been blamed.
Dude, could you imagine calling Monica to let her know that someone broke into the apartment?
Oh, that would be horrible.
Horrible.
I hate that. Talking to her sounds like Monica's our landlord for you loyal listeners. Talking to her reminds me a lot of Helga Pataki's mom. You ever get that vibe?
Yes. Well, I always say that
Bryan, so I heard that the fire alarm was removed and Olga.
And I actually just recently rewatched Hey Arnold in this past year.
Oh, wow.
She's always drinking. I think
she was supposed to be implicitly an alcoholic.
Always drinking. Monica might be taking pills at all times.
Who knows? She has a very waspy energy.
I just know that when I first met her, she just was so all over the place and couldn't even really talk. And I was like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "My only 2 bugaboos are smokers and cats. Do you guys smoke or do you have cats?" And I was like, "Nope."
When I initially moved in, the person who I was replacing had a cat.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it was. I think they told me that you could have a cat but no dogs.
Well, and 2/3 of the apartment smokes, so she's like, "It's a professional building. You can't smoke in here." I was like, "Okay."
She said that was literally the first thing she said to me. She was like, "You can't smoke even on the porch," and I was like, "Yeah, it's a pretty nice place." So I'm just gonna lie. I was pretty still heavy smoking.
I was in the same place.
Yeah, I was like, I don't. I would not. It causes cancer. And there was the thing on the tip of my tongue where I was gonna be like, "Does that include weed?" And I'm like, "Don't ask that."
Don't. Because I actually overemphasized and oversold myself. Like, tried to be over nice. I was like, not smoke. Like sometimes when I'm out, like I'll have one or something. She's like, oh, like, that's fine. Like, you don't need to tell me that.
Yeah, when you're out, you know.
I know. Like, why am I trying to sell that to this woman right now?
Yeah, no, she was. And at that time, she said, "We're gonna do a credit check," and I was like, "I honestly have no idea what a desirable credit score is."
Let me know what you find.
Yeah, and then I went on the annual credit report, and I was like, "Okay, seems like I don't have anything negligent." I was like, "I don't fucking know."
No, I have no idea.
I was like, maybe I took out a small business loan when I was blacked out a few years ago, and it's hard to keep track. Maybe I got a subprime mortgage in New Jersey. I don't know.
Can you imagine Monica's the one that comes to tell you that?
Yeah, Kevin. So
Kevin, you got to move out until you get this mortgage.
When you were 12 years old, before the FBI got involved, you know,
found some wild things about you. I don't even know if you know about yourself.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people do find that the identity check shit, and then they go to buy a house, and it's like, you know, did you wire $13 million to Cabo?
I can't handle that. I couldn't handle that. If I go to buy a house and they're like, yeah, you have like a bunch of stuff, like, was this you? I'd just be like, dude, I think I'm checking out. I think I'm just gonna go try being homeless for a little bit.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if that's so far removed from me. Like, will I ever be buying a house? Probably not.
I would say probably.
Yeah, maybe eventually, but you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're like 40, getting ready to settle down, you have some kids, and they're like, oh yeah, dude, your credit score is the worst I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, that would be horrible.
That'd be awful.
I still check it like with the free ones through the app, but then it's mystical. It's like, it goes up, it goes down. I don't know.
I don't have the emotional intelligence to check right now. Like, I don't have that kind of capacity.
Yeah, I'm in a hole with the credit card shit. I'm at like the charging everything to debit until the next paycheck stage.
I've never been a credit card guy.
Oh,
ever. Can't do it. Like, I would get fucked.
Yeah, well, they don't give you that much of a limit to start out, but with the Amazon thing, I've enjoyed it a lot because I'll spend recklessly and put everything on the Amazon card, and then every time I need something, usually an essential thing, I'll just be like, oh, I got like a ton of cash to Amazon.
Yeah, I see this. I can't manage it. So almost like I would be in like $10,000 debt in a week. Yeah, no, that would be. I mean, it's kind of about not a week, but it's about what we're clocking here, and now I'm just hoping that depends on what Instagram ads direct on you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's only been like a handful of times I've purchased stuff from the Instagram targeted ad.
They've got my number now, dude.
Yeah.
They have my number. They know exactly what I want.
I think what always happens to me is if I want something and I look at it and it's way more fucking money than I expected it to be from the ad, and then I'm like, oh, fuck it then.
No, yeah, I'll check. But like they still have my number. They know exactly what I want.
Yeah. I definitely, I mean, and then they know. The worst is if you like actually like are shopping around and you're like, it's too much money. Then you're just gonna get the ad for that thing like 50 times, like within a week.
Oh yeah, and then if you do buy it, they're still retargeting with that ad. It's like, buddy, I just bought this. Like, try something else.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know, latency or something. I don't know. Byzantine systems. All I know is that I use Facebook to target for a comedy show I'm running this Saturday in Wakefield, and I opened up the ticket sales I think like March 28th, and it sold out on like April 1st.
Okay. Nice.
So, and I think I only spent $7 total doing that just because it's all localized. And so I guess people are rearing to have fun.
Pretty cool.
Even boomers who live out in this area.
Yeah. I don't know what the boomers are doing, to be honest, throughout this whole thing.
I don't know. Trying not to die, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Or sharing memes about how the virus is fake. Like one of the two.
I only know a handful of boomers that are sharing memes at all.
Yeah, well, I have some relatives that share memes.
Okay.
Some of them is like you share the thing and it would be like a picture of like AOC as a goat. I'm like, do you even know who this person is though? Or are you just sharing something bit like...
Well, also, is that supposed to be mean or is that a compliment?
I think it meant more like a donkey, not a goat.
Okay.
Like a jackass.
Yes. That makes way more sense. She's like, oh, are you saying she's the greatest of all time?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they could be accidentally sharing that even.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I got an uncle in Florida he's very wacky on social media, but I don't even think he's under. He will always someone will like his photo. You'll just see his comment. He'll post a photo, and then the first comment will be from him, and then he'll be like, "How are the folks? How's your sister?" Because like someone liked the photo, and he thinks that he's replying directly to the like.
He doesn't understand the interaction.
He doesn't get it. Yeah.
I have one of those in Arizona too, and he posts most ridiculous stuff. Like, I remember back in my day when boys were boys and girls were girls. And just like, dude,
it's like we used to fall off our bicycles, and
yeah,
we didn't have smartphones. I'm like, well, people still fall off their bikes, so
it's like, hey, like we all knew that was probably how you lived. But thanks for confirming.
The fake one I hear a lot is like, kids don't know how to read a clock. I was like, I think kids know how to read a clock. And then they always.
Why are you valuing that so much?
Yeah, but then you say kids don't know how to read a clock, and I say I'm pretty sure kids know how to read a clock, and then they're like, they try to hit you with what they think is the ultimate trump card, with like, oh, I'm talking analog, and I was like, yeah, so am I.
No, I got it, dude. Thank you. Thank you for confirming, though.
There's another really basic one that they always claim that kids don't know how to do, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they know how to do that.
There's so many of them, dude.
Yeah.
Mine was like when my dad would always get in these arguments growing up where he's like, I was like, dude, Dad, like life is so much different now. Like you don't really understand what's going on. He's like, I don't think life is any different than when I was a kid. And he like really believed that. And I was like, are you kidding? It's wicked different. We can talk to our friends from my pocket. I can go on the internet. You didn't have the internet.
Yeah, and it's like, if you look, a lot of my parents, like my mom's not friends with anyone that she went to elementary school with.
No.
But I think the digital shit is like why I am still friends with those people.
Absolutely. I mean, our world is completely different than when they grew up.
Yeah. And it's like everyone has a voice too. So I think that affects society's because back in the day it was just like, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to do a thing, I'm going to care about my family. And now it's like, how am I presenting myself to the world?
Yep.
And then during a pandemic for a lot of people, it was like, oh, I can make these TikToks that might get like, a bajillion views. It's like, how are we doing that? But I don't know.
It's like, Dad, what were you doing when you were 12? You were probably playing like out in the woods, which is what I did. Well, guess what? I was playing on the woods, and I'd come home, and I would go on the internet, and me and all my friends would see who could find the most fucked up thing on the internet to go talk about at school the next day.
What was your internet browsing stuff when you were? 'Cause I was a little bit more benign. I was like I was big into like Homestar Runner and all that shit.
You're like, we'd go to like watch the most absurd things for 12 years you're watching. Have you ever been to like that'sfucked.com with a PH?
I've heard of it.
That's where you can see like people getting like killed, beheadings.
I had some friends that would do that. I'd be like,
the Pain Olympics.
The Pain Olympics, I remember. Yeah.
No, I'll never get over that.
Yeah, Meat Spin was a big one.
Meat Spin.
That one wasn't really violent.
E-Bombs World had wild stuff.
I was a big Newgrounds guy, even though like I was like 12, so I didn't really understand most of the humor.
No,
it's a lot of like school shooting humor before that was like as common as it is today on Newgrounds. That was a big thing.
It's just some predictive programming right there for you.
Yeah. Well, like the main flagship like thing that Newgrounds had was like a character, and there was like a game starring that character where like he's at school and the goth kids come and start shooting up the school, and he and then you have to like play as him who like stole one of their guns, and it's like an RPG, but like you're walking by like the bodies of like shot up kids and shit.
Yeah,
it's the era of Flash.
Everyone was so worried about everyone being like desensitized from the internet growing up. Now no one cares about that at all, apparently.
No. Well, no, but the thing is, this kind of shit doesn't fly as common as it did back then.
I don't know, dude. There's more content now. There's more wild content being put out every day.
There is, but now it's like you got to go on the dark web to find fucked up shit.
That's
whereas
fair.
fucked up shit was just the web.
I mean, I remember I saw a video of a guy like sticking his head in a girl's vagina, and that was.
I don't even know how that works.
I still don't understand.
And that was your first time seeing a vagina, or
yeah? I was just like, so this is how we do it. No, and I haven't seen that video since. So like, maybe that's just that all stayed on the deep web.
Maybe. I remember it was like I used to go on that website, Encyclopedia Dramatica, which was like a parody, and it was mostly just jokes, but then every now and then you'd see like some graphic like gang fuck image. And it was like before I'd ever even like I tried to watch porn because I was like 12 or whatever, and I'd be like, ah!
Yeah.
And then now it's just like...
Did you ever hit the LimeWire stuff?
I was... we had LimeWire for a bit, and then we replaced it with FrostWire, which I ended up using more.
FrostWire is solid. LimeWire is good. I really like BearShare. I don't know if you remember BearShare.
I remember BearShare.
I remember I was like starting to get into like porn at like 11 or 12 because my brother... I had an older brother.
I think it was later. Yeah, I had an older sister.
And I was like downloading porn on the fan computer, and I didn't really know what I was doing.
Oh.
My brother came to me and he's pissed like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You downloaded 64 videos of porn to the fan computer. Like, guess who they're going to think that's me? They're going to think it's me. And I was like, geez. He's like, 64? Are you good? You're like 12, dude.
You're just like, I'll watch it later.
Just typing things in that looked cool and just clicking it. Yeah, I was like, let's add to the file.
Yeah, I surprisingly, in trying to, pirate last week's Prison Break or whatever on LimeWire, I never ended up getting porn. I don't think.
Well.
It'd be funny. Maybe they made it, yeah, I think it was for that. It was more like my friends were like, "You gotta check this out." Like my friends who had older brothers.
Yes, they're sending the most wild links that I've ever seen.
And it was like, and then very quickly learned about the incognito and shit like that.
Yeah, you gotta learn fast.
I actually got like trained to do that, and as like I have a girlfriend, but like even when I didn't, as a single man, I like still instinctively do that whenever I watch porn.
Have to.
I just like more comfortable. And it's like, yeah, because it's gonna be in your history forever. It's like just keep it out.
So keep it out. Or like just even just like wild questions that I want to look up. Like, not even bad stuff, just like stuff was like, yeah, if my search ever did go through, like, I don't want people to know I'm looking at that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should do that. But yeah, every now and then I'd be like, list of foreign nationals the CIA has executed.
Exactly. It's like,
And be like, yeah, I don't know if we need that necessarily in here. But
they're probably still, they can still see it through incognito, so it doesn't really matter, I guess.
my, oh yeah, sometimes someone will be like, when you're in incognito, the government can still track you. I was like, not really the concern. It's more just
I think you're missing my
someone
intent.
who might borrow my computer to Google something might be seeing it. There's much more worried about them.
No worse feeling than opening your laptop to show your friends something and there's just like 100 porn tabs up.
Yeah, there was the classic.
Do you click out quick or do you lean in and be like, yeah, this is what I've been watching?
How are we doing on time, David?
15 minutes left.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, what do you what have you been up to aside from party? Doing is that?
That's kind of my thing. I'm a big party guy. I like to have fun.
So do you make music or anything like that?
No.
Sometimes I hear like stuff coming from your apartment. I'm not sure.
I don't make music, but I've gotten into like DJ mixing a bit.
Okay.
And I do enjoy singing.
Oh, okay.
But like I don't sing, but like I like to sing.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
Before I actually did stand up, I was actually a real big karaoke person.
There you go.
Yeah, and then I was just like, this isn't. It was almost like I was like, I'm desensitized to this. I need to up to the higher dose
Have to.
of public humiliation.
Get it. Do you ever hear me screeching either?
I've heard no. I've probably yes. I have. That's maybe not how I would describe it.
You got it.
I've heard
That's
that.
what we'll do a big time. We'll just like screech, and like especially in the pandemic, if it's just like
So,
you've
like,
been
the
working
rah-rah.
for 2 days, you'll just come out of your room just scream as loud as you can.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's cathartic.
Yeah, and
I probably should do that more. Honestly,
You definitely should. And it's fun to think like I hope the neighbors just like the family that lives next to us, like I hope they're just like super worried about what's going on here at all times.
I imagine the people who live directly next to me are worried, but for different reasons, because they've probably seen me naked quite a bit when I was living alone.
Oh yeah, I mean, same here. All of our windows are full open.
Yeah, I don't have in the main room. I don't have blinds at all, and I feel a little bit bad because I'm pretty sure it's like a girl and her boyfriend living there. But I'm like, I don't think.
Are you
This
talking
is
on the right side of us?
to the right if you're facing the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think this counts.
Who knows, man? Maybe.
I'm in the comfort of my own home.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys.
It's a big thing with the ADD. Is like I'll be getting ready to take a shower, and I'll be like, oh, I forgot I need to reply to an email, and then I'll just be like standing there with the phone and be like, shit, I probably.
You know what? Everyone will give them a little show.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's
Better than the other side. It's just a family and like their grandma.
Oh yeah, no, that would be messed up. If they're children, I'd probably actually be more careful.
That's why, like, I have to, whenever I go into the kitchen, I'm just like, because that's like right in my bedroom. I'll walk around the kitchen naked all the time. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, this is probably not the best. This family probably hates me.
Yeah. Well, with the kitchen, you have the counter that blocks most of the
So, like,
view.
it'd be technically good, but still tough.
Yeah.
If I come out from a night of partying, I probably look like I'm, like, not okay. Probably wondering if they could call like a ambulance for me or something.
Well, you're still standing. I think that's as long as you don't have like blood running down your nose.
Yeah, I'm just like jumping to countertops for support.
Yeah.
Maybe blood in my nose. Who knows?
It's actually, I feel like they have a hammock on their porch, yet I've never seen them on their porch ever.
No, me neither.
And the other day I went out there and they were out there and they like immediately went in. I was like, oh, maybe they're mad that they see my penis. I don't know. Yeah, well,
That's how they're holding their grudge. They're just not going to go.
I don't know. Maybe they just don't like the idea of being on the porch while other people are like that close.
That's fair. I mean, the people to our left, they have a bicycle right to the window. So if you walk out of our porch and look left, they'll be biking right into your face.
Right. I've actually seen that before.
And it's like, I remember I walked out first day.
No, it's like a Peloton of some sort.
Yeah, I got scared.
Yeah.
I like ran back inside.
Oh.
I was like, okay, well, I can't be out here.
Yeah. I think I talked to that lady once about how she was taking out the trash, and I was talking to her about how we got a fine. And I was like, did you know that if the thing's not closed all the way, they'll give you a fine?
Did she?
What kind of draconian... No, she's like, I had never heard that. I was like, yeah.
I don't know who was fucking us with that, because that was wild.
That was, well, then I think what happened is we did it the one time, and then the city's like, go make sure they did it again. And then they got a second time. Yeah, I don't know.
So what about you? Now that everything's opening up, what is your life looking like?
Well, we're looking at, I got a big show that I, produced, which is Wednesday, sold out, only limited capacity, but sold out nonetheless. So we got 96 heads in there.
Let's go.
Ideally, I mean, because of the COVID shit, it's like you have to sell by the table, so it's like hopefully they'll mostly be full.
Right.
Yeah, and I do this horrible thing to myself where I like produce the whole show and I'm in charge of everything, and then I MC the show, which is like just too much to put on yourself. But I think it's some sort of like narcissism thing. I like have to, And,
Yeah, you just control everything. I get it.
I'm just trying to
Well, it's your creation.
get
Makes
out as
sense.
much as I can, really.
Yeah.
I got. It's harder because back in the normal times, it was like on like a Tuesday night, for instance, you could hit 2 open mics in Union Square and then 2 open mics in Central Square. And now it's like to get out to those, I have to drive to like either Worcester. There's one in Medford, and this because Somerville's being tight, Boston's being kind of tight, Cambridge is being tight, but. Just trying to get out as much as I can. I mean, the landscape has changed. A lot of people like just would drive down to Rhode Island every day to do shit during the pandemic when I wasn't really as focused. So now it's like I'm getting eclipsed by people who are lower on the totem pole than me. So the landscape's different. I'm just trying to capitalize.
Yeah, that's all right. You've been hibernating. Yeah. So now when everything comes full back, they're going to be like, yeah, I'm feeling good about this lead. And then you're going to come back and just absolutely fuck bash everyone.
We are also planning on moving to Austin at the end of the summer. So
that's locked?
Yeah, well, I've been working for an Austin-based company, although their office will probably never open, so that's less relevant. But more just like that's gonna be the scene.
Yeah,
you know, that's like the new thing.
That'd be fun, dude.
Listen to comedy podcasts or anything, but people are going down there. So
nice.
It'll be cool. Yeah, I'm excited to. I've been here a little. I need to spend some time away. Also.
I feel the same way. I think I'm moving to San Diego in October.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. California was something I thought about for a bit. I really like San Francisco, but then it seems like it became much of a shithole.
Yeah.
And it already kind of was. And,
I like San Fran. I don't like LA. I was in San Diego recently, and I was like, this seems like the best spot West Coast that I could come and kind of translate it to.
I know a good amount of people from Boston that seem to move there and like it.
Really? Yeah.
I've technically only been. I went to the Del Mar racetrack.
Okay.
But I never was actually in San Diego proper.
Sure.
But that's like right outside.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice down there. The whole Southern California shit.
So we have one last summer to burn the house down.
Yeah, let's burn it down. Let's.
I call it the Mud House.
You call it the Mud House?
Mud House, actually.
The Mud House.
Yeah.
My friend, who actually, when Alex, my old roommate, used to live there,
Alex, yeah.
my friend used to call it the Panacea Dome.
Okay.
And like, so sometimes I still refer to it as that, even though he hasn't lived there for like a year and a half now.
Sure.
But
the OG.
Yeah, that's the name for the house. You know, it's like there used to be a underground, literally just a basement of a 3-family house in Alston that people would do illegal comedy shows at, and
awesome.
It was fun. Like it was a lot of fun, and like they would let you chain smoke inside and all this crazy. But BYOB, which a lot of comics are just poor as shit and can't afford to be buying the. So we'd hang out there, and it was called Jed's Basement. But the Jed hadn't lived there in like 6 years. but it was Jed's basement. So
Jed sounds like a legend. I don't know if he knows how much of a legend he is.
Oh, he does. He came back. I met him once. He came back to visit.
Okay.
And then their landlord found out about it, and that was about that for Jed's Basement.
Yeah. Well,
I was like, damn, you guys had a good run though. Like you had that, because it was always like people would move out, and they would make sure that whoever moved in was like another comedian who needed a cheap place to stay, so that they could keep it going.
Keep it in the community.
Yeah, and I imagine like the second and third floors probably hated the shit out of them, because they always had 60 people.
Well, I know Catherine definitely does not love me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's
probably warmed up. But the year one, I mean, I was throwing big parties, and she was like till 4 a.m.
Yeah, you did seem like you were a bit more active in the first year.
Yeah, I've slowed down a little bit.
I think I've slowed down a bit in general, just because I was blacking out an unhealthy amount. But
well, you know, I'm be 29 soon. Like I know what my fast years are. I know to so absolutely just drain all the speed out of those years. But coming to an end.
Yeah, it's you still got a lot of fun there left.
Oh yeah.
I was really, really drunk and on the porch at like 2 or 3 in the morning, probably close to 3, talking to my friend on the phone. And we're just like catching up because we've been quarantined. We hadn't talked a while. And I was like, I normally only drink beer, but I was like drunk on whiskey that night. And all of a sudden she runs into the middle of the street and yells up, "It's 3 in the morning." So apparently I was so loud that it was like bouncing off the house across the street, and she could hear it in her window.
No way. Well, we know we got new roommates there too.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal with that guy is, but.
Oh, it's a guy?
I think it was a man. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know. She used to live with her brother, I think.
She did. I don't know. I saw the movie truck, but. We'll find out. Yeah, I mean, there was another time when, like, mid-pandemic, when I just, like, did, like, a good amount of acid with a few of my friends, and I was going out to let my brother's dog out back, and she was having, like, a sit on the back porch with, like, 6 friends.
Was it in the middle of the day?
No, it was at night.
Oh, okay.
And I, like, stumbled into the middle.
Oh.
Like, they were all, like, looking at me, and I was, like, I couldn't form words, and it was, like, great to meet you guys, and then I ran off around the side of the house. Yeah. So that was my last interaction with Catherine.
Yeah, it's weird that I feel like we don't even see each other in passing that much, us as well. But yeah, and it's interesting. I can kind of hear it's weird because when the sound really carries in the stairways.
Oh yeah,
but there's really not much. You can't hear that much in the units.
Yeah,
so every now and then I'll just
nothing crazy.
Every now and then I'll just hear like "See you later, Chris," like something like that, and then it's just like as soon as the door closed, it was just like.
Interesting. Okay.
But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you might hear us having late night dance parties. We bought like 2 rugs that we laid on top of each other to suppress it, but we like to have fun.
Hey, we like to have fun too.
I just convinced my girlfriend that Coke is fun. So.
And how did that go?
Good. Although
smooth?
now I think we had so much fun that we need to do like a 6-week kibosh. Maybe not 6 whole weeks, but a little bit. After we get back from we're going to Miami next week, and after we get back from that, I think I might detox a bit.
Nothing better than turning non-drug people into drug people. I love it.
Well, she was not necessarily a non-drug person.
Well, in any sense of whatever drug, though.
She's quite a fan of alcohol before.
It's like, hey, let me show you what this drug's about, though.
Yeah. Well, we'd actually tried it a couple times. She didn't like it.
You shouldn't do enough.
Yeah, well, it was one of those. This has happened to me before, where sometimes like you do some, and then you just get like a little bit freaked out, and then just like it hits you kind of fast, and then you're like, yeah. And then I think it was just a good vibes night. The vibes were right, and that was the night I texted you, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna be going up a while, and we have a bunch of stuff. You want to come?
So I was like out or something, but I was probably like, yeah, man, I'm having a party about to break the yay out. I'm like, dude, if I was there, I would be up there immediately.
Well, the thing is, we got quite a bit, and a bunch of people at the party were like, I don't know. It's my sister's birthday, and she had like a little bit, and she got like sinusy from it.
Yeah.
Allergy season, then she bailed, and I was like, well, I don't know if we can do all this ourselves, which ended up being the case. But
yeah. Always is.
I was just saying to my friend all night, I was like, dude, you have like really aggressive coke jaw. And he was like, no, I don't. Yeah, like worse than anyone ever seen.
We don't coke jaw shame.
Yeah, we don't jaw shame. One time at fucking Ned Devine's, a guy just tapped me on the back, and he was like, hey, give me get a little bit of that. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, I can see your jaw. Let me get a little bit. And I was like, oh, man, I'll give you the props for calling it out. And I was like, I got plenty, so I helped him out. But
damn.
Can't tell you that was the last time I was at Ned Devine's.
That's actually hilarious. Hey, man, I know what's going on here.
Experiences.
I hate when I'm at a show. Cause I go to a lot of concerts, and like at a show, and they're just like someone in the bathroom. They just like it's a stranger, and they just put their hand under the stall, like, "Hey, bud."
Oh,
hey,
really?
Bud. Oh, it happens all the time. It's like not gonna happen, man. Love your hustle though, but like can't. I have a line I have to take.
Oh, he's asking you. I thought you were saying a stranger was just completely randomly solicit, like trying to.
Oh, if that's the case, I'm grabbing it every time.
Yes, for sure.
No, asking me, just give me a little hand grab. I'm just like, nope, can't, man.
At the fish shows, it's pretty quick because sometimes you're just next to someone, they're like, "Yo, you want to hit a molly?" And it's like sometimes I say no, and then sometimes I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, you cut me in a big moment. Yeah, I'm down.
I got offered ketamine once, and I was like, I've never tried that before. And honestly, no offense, I don't really want to do it for the first time with you.
No. K is pretty good though.
Yeah, I've heard. I've just I tried it once in college, but it didn't do anything. So I don't know if it was bad or I didn't do enough.
Gotta do more.
Yeah, something like that.
Have to do more.
But
it's a rule of thumb with any drug.
We'll see. The Silk Road got shut down. That was my supplier.
Oh, I know. Me and my friends got a few things off of it in high school too.
Yeah. Well, then you look up how much Bitcoin did I spend on Silk Road and what's the value of that now, and then it's like, shit.
You just don't do that.
I did drugs and. Well, there's one that I checked just because we had one big purchase where I think it was 12 Bitcoins, which is over $1 million now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
feels shitty to know.
Heartbreaking.
2 minutes of battery left.
2 minutes of battery left. Oh no.
Okay.
You have anything you want to plug?
Party. Everyone should be partying.
Everyone party. Party out there.
That's my only plug.
Get the vaccine. Lie to get it if you have to.
Yeah, please get the vaccine.
You aren't going to get it on perjury. Not that I think it works, but maybe not. I'm not a scientist. Just get out there.
You don't think it's gonna work?
We're done with this.
But do it.
We're done with this. We're done with this thing. Get out there. All right. Well, thanks for having on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Have a good night.